All right, hello everybody. I can't believe we've gotten to this point, but I have been a Twitch partner for 3 years at this point. 3 years, like something I never thought I would ever obtain. But yeah, here we are 3 years later. I'm gonna spend the next little bit talking about it. And on YouTube, I'm not gonna cut this. I'm not gonna edit it together. There's gonna be free flow of thoughts, start to finish. So it's not going to be super clean and everything, but I think that's important. I think it's important to do it that way. That way you can hear all of the nonsense rambling. That way, I think it hits better that way. So yeah, not going to put any music. I have the alerts off, so nobody's going to be throwing any bananas out there. And also, some of this will probably be a little bit fourth wall breaking. If you are concerned or care about that kind of thing. So I guess just a heads up there. We're going to be going into a lot of history of the Phant TV stream. So, although I've been partner for 3 years, my first stream was 10 years ago in 2013. And I do have a video because of my huge desire for accurate record keeping. I have all of the VODs for my first stream I ever did. So I'll be popping in 20. You'll see how bad it was, how horrible quality is, like 480p, 30 FPS. But anyway, prior to streaming, and kind of like the reason of all the stuff leading up to me wanting to stream in the first place, basically, like, growing up, I didn't have too many friends and I had severe social anxiety. I'm not going to overlap with the whole coming out video, but anybody who's seen that video kind of knows a little bit that's going on. But like even back in elementary school, I had friends that were kind of friends of convenience more than anything. And looking back, seeing the stuff that they did to me and stuff, it's like really they weren't the best of friends. And coupled on top of that, so even to this day, making friends for me is really, really hard. I had a really rough spot because in my city, half the kids went to one middle school and half went to the other. And knowing my luck, literally every single person I knew went to one middle school and then I went to the other one. So I went to one, I was completely in the cold with knowing literally nobody. So what my mom did is like she homeschooled me for a year. So I missed out on an entire year of school. And that kind of probably messed me up a little bit socially. But I did get back, and after that point, I made two friends. I will say I made two friends total from that point on during school. And yeah, still this whole time, like, I'm always concerned with like how I'm gonna appear to somebody else. So it gives me like huge, immense social anxiety. For me, talking to new people is like the hardest thing ever. And I imagine a lot of you probably feel that way. And you think like, oh, this person's a streamer. They got to be sociable. They got to be outgoing. They got to be an extrovert. I am the most introverted person ever. Like, anytime I go out and do something with like any more than like 5 people, it's a lot of work, and I kind of have to just fake it. That it doesn't bother me at all. Anyway, it's a big thing. And then shortly after all my grade school stuff, the two friends I did have, one of them got into drugs, and kind of cut off contact there, and then the other one just completely ghosted me. Absolutely no contact whatsoever. So I'm going through, and I don't know literally anybody. So where do I turn? The internet, baby. So that is where I started just like going into some websites, getting into some communities, and I found a couple around StarCraft esports. That's because I like StarCraft, so I was like, okay, so I kind of got involved there, and I still know some people from that original StarCraft-based community. So StarCraft means a lot to me. And during all of that, some people who I've only ever talked to online, and I should also add, like, during this whole time, like through grade school, I'd since I didn't have people to really hang out with, I would like bury my head in MMOs and do raiding and all that other stuff. So that kind of like kept me going. But so I made a couple friends online, and there's one day where they're like, "Hey, I want to see you play this game." Just a couple people. The game was called Amnesia, the sequel, not the original Amnesia. It was Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs. That was the first game. That was Quest. It's like, okay, you know, like I don't know what, like, whatever. So I stream with no camera, 480p, 30 FPS, garbage bitrate on Twitch, and I have the video, and I'm going to pull it up, and we're gonna watch a little bit of it so you can see exactly how I was the first time I ever hit go live on Twitch. So give me a second to get this video loaded. And this is also like before my voice fully developed. So honestly, I don't think I sound too much different than how I used to sound, or than like how I sound now. But you'll see it much different when I get into the Final Fantasy videos. But yeah, here we go. Let's try this. All right, so I kind of just like picked a spot in the middle of it because like the first 3 minutes of this, I didn't say a single word ever. And just look at this video quality. You can barely read the text. Yeah, here it is. 480p, 30 FPS. All right, so let's listen to a little bit of it.
Surprise.
I'm a terrible streamer. I have a weird way of speaking.
Oh, so it's his house.
Like what's going on? I have some weird speech impediment.
Can't even find the exit.
Look at that quality, baby. Are you not hearing it?
It should be right here. Oh, come on.
You are? Okay, hang on, let me pump the volume.
Why are these pig heads everywhere?
Let's bump up the gain here. All right, that should get us somewhere close. Ah, jump scare! I get down and I'm scared. Look at the blocking. You can barely see shit. But yeah, this is a horror game, the sequel to Amnesia: The Dark Descent. And my first stream ever.
So many notes.
The voice
of
someone who has no idea what they're doing. This is how it all started, right here. This entire playthrough, every second of it, is on YouTube. Yeah. Horror games. I love horror games, even though I'm an idiot. You can also see a little bits of I still do stupid stuff in games. Yeah, that's kind of ingrained. A piano, look at that. Woo! Anyway, I think you get the point. This stream sucks.
Gotta turn on all the lights, maybe something happens.
This stream is awful. I talk weird. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I sound disinterested. I sound bored. And I'm not good at saying words.
It's that same picture again.
So let's go ahead and pause this. So you just get a taste. I don't want to keep doing the whole thing because it's bad. It's a bad stream. I just wanted to give you all an image of what I was like the first time I did. So the way I sound, yeah, it was kind of a little bit shocking hearing myself talk this way when I was going through and reviewing the VODs, but I think I have improved significantly. I think I sound a lot better. My microphone quality is better. The video quality, 10 times better. But yeah, I think my voice has come a long way. Because, back then I was still hiding everything and all that. So, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, poor mic quality, no camera. I didn't even use a camera for the first time until sometime in 2018, I think. And I did this stream, and I played the game, beat it in one sitting, put the VODs on YouTube, and then that was basically it for about 2 years. I don't think I really started doing anything else until I got involved with GDQ. So fast forward to AGDQ 2015. So this is 2 years later, and the reason I went there is kind of a little bit interesting. So by this point, I had gotten a job in the place that I wanted to get a job at. I was making money, and I kind of finished like everything I was kind of like quote unquote supposed to do. It's like, oh, go get an education, go get a job, all this other stuff. And I did, but I wasn't happy. I was very much not happy. Because again, at this point, like the only people I know are like on the internet. So I'm thinking, oh, those are not real friends, whatever. And then sometime around 2015, 2014 timeframe, I kind of just, and I guess probably a little bit before that, 2013 I think is around that time as well. Anyway, this time period, I kind of just got to the point where I was like, heck it, I don't care if it's scary. I'm gonna go and do stuff because I am sad. I am miserable. I don't want to, live the next 50 years of my life in a depressing gray corporate office. If you could imagine the old movie The Incredibles, at the start, it shows the main character in like a generic gray office. That was my office. I hated it. It was soul sucking. I just came in tired because I had to get up at like 5 a.m. and then I left at 4 p.m., 3:30, 4 p.m., exhausted and tired, and I just didn't have time for anything. I hated it. It was just like it was crushing me. It was slowly crushing me. This is like me getting everything I was supposed to get. I did good in school, got great grades and everything. So I started doing like some conventions and stuff, and then my friends convinced me to join them to go to my online friends to go to AGDQ 2015 because we had been watching the GDQ events, and my friend Railkun, who I knew from this StarCraft stuff, everybody knows Railkun's still a GDQ staffer and does a lot of the tech stuff for Hotfix. So he had done a run in 2013. One of my other friends was like the opener run for 2014. We all just like went to AGDQ 2015. There's like, I don't know, 10 of us, 12 of us, something like that. I don't remember everybody who was there, but it was a decent amount of people. And I remember it very distinctly because Legend of Zelda Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was the first run, the very first run at the event. And this AGDQ, there's like this weird like side area that had like 12 chairs in it that was behind all the projectors. People didn't know you could sit there. And I freaking love Donkey Kong Country. Like, Donkey Kong Country is like my favorite series, one of my favorite series. And Spike comes out. So I was aware of Spike. I was aware of a lot of people. But he comes out because he was on the couch for the first run. Michael Goldfish was running. And he was like, hey, we need people to sit back here. Because nobody's sitting back here. Because, again, everybody thought it was like, oh, runners only and something. So like, okay, I'll go sit. So, yeah, I sat right behind Spike for the run. I think I have a picture here. I'm not going to spend too much time hunting for it. Let's see. Pictures. Do I have it? AGDQ. It's on this drive, maybe? No, it's on. I have too many drives. Let's see. South Carolina. Okay, yeah, here we go. AGDQ. I have a picture from this moment. It's actually a really funny picture of Spike from years ago. Yeah, here it is. This is the picture I took at the time. There he is, my good friend Spike. Very short hair, very low quality camera picture. They're setting up for Tropical Freeze. Look at that. The set has changed significantly since then. So anyway, yeah, this is the first interaction I had, and this is also the time where it's like, okay, you know, I had before this like gone through Ocarina of Time, just like done glitches and stuff like very casually. But I wanted to get into Tropical Freeze because I loved that game. So after this event, after AGDQ 2015, I joined. I started speedrunning Tropical Freeze. I still have never gotten a time on the leaderboard, or I've done a completed run start to finish. Never have. But I just like being in the community and all the people there. The Dawn Closet, like my first speedrunner friends. So that's where Not So Newbie is from. Michael Goldfish, Spike Vegeta, J Hobbs. So a lot of familiar names that you all may have heard before. And so I started doing that, and then that kind of gave me some reason to do some streaming stuff. So I made some tutorials for Tropical Freeze, and I'd occasionally just stream myself doing practice. This is like the first time I actually had followers. So I think going into this moment, I had like 3 followers on Twitch, something like that. And then I got a whole bunch of the Dawn Closet to cover the post, like J-Hob, Spike, Newbie, and all this stuff are among my first followers ever on my Twitch account. So this is, this was kind of like the start of my involvement with GDQ, kind of like the stuff that led to it. So AGDQ 2015 comes and goes, and I'm occasionally doing this stuff, and I didn't go to SGDQ 2015 because none of my friends were going. The group I had going was, well, they were done. They were like, okay, we went, we had fun, we don't want to go back. I wanted to go back, but at the same time, I was too scared to go since I didn't have many people I knew. So it eventually comes around AGDQ 2016, and one of my friends, just one, was going to go, and I went and I roomed with him, and I was kind of like attached to his hip, probably to the point of him getting a little bit annoyed there, because I was just too scared to go talk to anybody, too scared to do anything. And, I would occasionally like go up and talk to people. I was scared to go up and talk to people, not for like, oh, you're so famous or whatever, just because I'm not good at talking to people. I'm terrible at it. Again, my social anxiety is ridiculously bad. So that event, I was a little bit sad and a little bit scared because I didn't really have many people to hang out with, and I didn't want to bother anybody. So it kind of like went out with a whimper, that one. So wasn't my best GDQ by far. And then SGDQ 2016, there was Tropical Freeze got in, again, I think as a race or something. And none of my friends were going to it. And I really wanted to go. This was like the first time it was in downtown Minneapolis, I think. And I reserved a ticket to go. I got a flight, and I was rooming with Munchakoopas. I think Moo was there, Goldfish was there, Newbie. Like, there's a lot of people. It's like a 4-person room. People from Tropical Freeze, the only game I was speedrunning. And this would be the first time I would ever like try and room with somebody I didn't know too well and everything. And I was terrified. I was so terrified. So terrified, in fact, I almost canceled my trip. Because it was going in for like, I don't know, coming like up on 2 months or something out from the event. And I was like, this is going to be a bad idea, a terrible idea. I don't know any of these people. I'm going to go for a week and I'm not going to have a good time. I'm going to hate it. It's yada, yada, yada. And I was so close to canceling it. But I ended up deciding, like, nah, I'm just going to say, heck it. Let's just go. YOLO bitches. Something like that. But it was scary. And I remember feeling on the plane there and like going to the room. Like I was like, my heart rate was elevated. My blood pressure was probably through the roof. I was not feeling good. But I ended up landing. I got in there, started hanging out with the room, meeting the people in the room. And one person in particular, Mumu, who had a run in doing Shovel Knight at this last AGDQ, literally last week was on there. So Mumu was like, hey, because Mumu also ran Trop, and I had talked to them a lot, kind of like hit him up a lot, and we went to go get pho. He invited me to go get some pho, and I joined him, and he was like so nice, so friendly, and just like a joy to hang out with, and that kind of like elevated me to keep on going and start meeting people at SGDQ. And so my spirits were lifted. It was great. It's like, okay, this isn't so bad. I'm making new friends. And this eventually led to me joining a lot of people from the Trop team. So Spike, Hobbs, and all the other Trop people went to go watch the fireworks because SGDQ was during 4th of July that year. And we went and found this cool place by the river and watched the fireworks. And after that, started doing pub crawling. I don't drink, so I was just along for the ride. But so I was with everybody, and it was I was really hanging out, really starting to solidify friendships with all these people. And coming out of that day, the very last bar we stopped at, it's okay, fine, I'll take a sip. Everybody else was completely smashed by that point. So I just took a little bit of sip, and they all just went nuts. And it was yeah, woo, peer pressure, yay. But coming out of that, that's, I think, when I started becoming really, really good friends with them. And that's kind of, if that didn't happen, I probably would have stopped going to GDQs. But because I had a very good experience when I was expecting a very bad experience, it kind of encouraged me to continue going. And I've been to every single GDQ since. I have not missed one. So yeah, SGDQ 2015 was the last one I missed. And it's just gotten better and better and better as I've gotten more and more involved with people. Then in 2017, so fast forward to a year later to 2017, so I'm still doing streams every once in a while, but not too often. So 2017, I remember we were at the Brits pub, or no, the Newsroom. It was called the Newsroom in Minneapolis. It was SGDQ 2017. And I was like, I don't know, what game should I speedrun? It's I still had never finished a run of Trop. Speedrunning for 2 years. And maybe someday I will, but as of today, I still have not finished a run of that game. And Hobbs was like, you should speedrun Ori and the Blind Forest. Ori is great, because at that time, I think a lot of people were getting into Ori. The definitive edition just came out, and I was like, sure, why not? I'm not sure if I can't remember if I streamed my casual playthrough of it. I may have, but I did get involved with the speedrunning community, and that was another, very, very critical moment for me, is getting involved specifically with Ori. And during that time, a tournament had just started, an 80% tournament, I believe, or an all skills tournament, something. So it encouraged me to stream a little bit more, practicing, getting some runs in. Then I joined the tournament and had a great time. And I don't know if it was this tournament or the next tournament. I can't remember exactly when it happened. But one of these, I started doing commentary. I wanted to do commentary. I wanted to get more involved, helping to make things. And one of the races I commentated, it was the day I was going to go to Disneyland and with my family. And I was like, shoot. And my friend who I had met, and, well, I guess I wouldn't say friend at this point. It's more like an acquaintance. I had seen him a little bit, but Woolagen, who you may have all seen, Woolagen, the one and only Woolagen. who I was aware of because at the time I think he was doing games committee stuff or some other stuff for GDQ, GDQ staff things. And I said, and I knew he lived nearby, and he suggests that I just come down to his house and do commentary for the race. I think we were doing it together, and then after that, I'd go back to Disneyland. That's exactly what I did. So I'm like riding Space Mountain or something, and then I go out, get in the car, drive to Fula's house, and then this is the first time I had seen him like really talk to him in person. I just get in, put on the headphones, do the commentary, then I leave. Literally just come in and then leave. That was the first time. I was really hanging out with them, and that was really funny. But that kind of started a really good friendship there, and I'm still very, very good friends with Fulgen, and really appreciate his insight to things. And he kind of like, if I'm ever going too far, he steps in and is like, "Hey, stop this, stop this shit." But yeah, that whole tournament kind of really expanded who I talked to, and also got me streaming more. And that would carry on to a 2018 tournament. I kind of branched out and spread, doing commentary for Link to the Past randomizer tournaments. And somehow at this point, I got involved with the interview team because my friend Darkman just said, "Hey, you want to go hold up a banner?" And I said, "Yeah." And then next event, we were on the interview team, and I've been there ever since. So during this time, I would still stream every once in a while, like by no means regularly. But I was getting more and more involved slowly and slowly with other people who did do streaming, tournaments and other stuff. So there were like a lot of tournaments I was helping out with. And this led me to like beating Wooligan and a lot of his friend group, led me to another event that I had tangentially heard of but never really went to, and that is RPG Limit Break. RPG Limit Break, I think it was 2018. Yeah, RPG Limit Break 2018. Woolgen is asking, please come. It's a great event. You're not going to regret it. And we ended up driving to Salt Lake City so I drove with Woolgen because by this point, me and him had become pretty good friends doing all the Ori stuff. And yeah, so I went up and had a great time. I made balloon animals for the Kingdom Hearts balloon thingy. Me and Richard made a Kingdom Hearts Keyblade out of balloons and a whole bunch of stuff. It was wild. It was fun. All for a stupid run. So that's where I met Kizaron. That's where me and Spike became better friends. Cause I think prior to 2018, I've never even heard of Kizaron, but you're noticing slowly the names that I regularly hang out with today are coming in, right? But one thing about 2018 is that's when I started hearing about Final Fantasy 14 a lot. So I really, really kind of wanted to try it out, and I didn't yet. So it kept on my mind, but that's like getting involved with all the people doing RPGs and stuff kind of led to me wanting to play FF14, which would happen later. But I still have like social anxiety. I have performance anxiety too. Like whenever I hit go live or anything like that, so I get scared, very, very scared. Even today, if I hit the go live, like my heart rate will go up a little bit because I'm a little bit nervous about talking to things and everything. Like, am I gonna lose all my viewers today or whatever, So that still hasn't gone away. I've gotten better, but still hasn't gone away. So all the seeds are coming in from different directions to get me to, eventually start streaming more often. And I realize I've barely talked about streaming yet. Trust me, this all comes together. This all comes together in a very interesting way of what led me to being right here, right now in front of y'all. And thanks for all the happy partner anniversary stuffs. So there are other miscellaneous events that I had gone to. So I started meeting some people. Grand Pooh Bear's one of them. He'll be coming up a little bit later. And me and Haas being on the interview team, and so we became very, very good friends. And then in comes Speedrun Sessions. So this is a Grand Pooh Bear event that he ran, or he's still running, like a traveling event where he gets a bunch of people, some hosts, and he'll go take over a bar and then just do speedruns and have a good time, have some fun. Like not for charity or anything, just like a speedrun show. And in 2019, there's a Speedrun Sessions hosted in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. And J Hobbs was set to be one of the hosts with Xwater. So Hobbs and Xwater were hosts. Like, I knew Hobbs well, but I didn't know really anybody else. And then Hobbs messaged me. I was like, hey, you want to just come join me at Speedrun Sessions in Vegas? Split a room or something like that. And, like, at this point, like, I still really didn't have much to do. Too much responsibility. It's like, okay, sure. So I went to Vegas. And that was the wildest Vegas trip I've ever had. Because Red Bull put it on. The people part of Speedrun Sessions were at this giant suite at the top of the MGM Grand that had like 180-degree, 270-degree panoramic views of the entire city, floor-to-ceiling windows, 2 stories, had a baby grand piano in it, butler service. Like, it was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. They also got us into like a pool party, and that is where I really started to hang out with Pooh, and mainly Xwater. Surprisingly, like, me and Xwater really hit it off that event. That's also like some other people I met there at the time who I don't really talk with too much these days. Like Simple Flips was there, Barb was there, TMR was there, Oats and Goats was there. So I'm not sure how much they remember me from that event, but that was kind of the first time we all hung out together and got some food. But I was still very much like a third wheel at this event because, like, my friend just wanted me to come join and hang out. But this is actually, I think, the last time I ever had a shot, too. Pooh got, like, shots of tequila for everybody before the events, and I was there, so I had one. I don't think I've had a shot since then. Maybe I have, but that's the last one, at least I remember. Anyway, so that comes and goes, and this will come back to be of importance a year later. So we're still back at 2019. This is 5 years ago. And I got a lot of strengthening friendships there that would go on to literally change my life later. So at Speedrun Sessions, I kind of like got the motivation to want to do some streaming after that. And by this point, I finally got peer pressured by Vuligen. I think Zoe Techie was also part of the problem. Stiger, a lot of people you'll see pretty regularly in my chat. But finally, they convinced me to play FF14. This is at the end of 2019. I have an exact date here. And I'm going to pull up this VOD after I censor it, because I don't want you to see my face. Anyway, let me get this up really quick. And this is also, by this time, this is 6 years later after the Amnesia video. This is where my voice has, like, essentially fully developed into what it was, like, pre-working on it, pre-changing it. And hang on, let me add a little color source here. This is just the big sensor box, okay? All right, so I am going to sound very different here. I think it will surprise you. I think it will greatly surprise you how I sound here. So this is an excerpt from the very first day I started streaming FF14. All right, so let's go ahead and play this. I don't know how loud the volume is. Let's see here. Boop, boop, boop. All right, here, I'm going to play it. This is my old voice.
Wait, this card opening is in every starting location? Is it the exact same?
That's me. Believe it or not, that's me.
Shed was on a boat.
I'm a little bit happier with this clip, but I still can't believe I sound like this. I used to sound like
We're
this.
getting inspected. They're gonna find out I'm a criminal.
Isn't this nuts?
Hydra's right. A boat is just a sea cart.
Now, you could still tell it's me, but this is how far I've come. So, put some perspective on it.
It's drugs. Somnus. Somnus is drugs.
I don't know where all this bass came from.
Prohibited herbs. It is drugs. This is a drug bust.
There it is. Yeah. Yeah, there's my
Okay,
character.
we need to bribe
You
the
may
police.
notice right here the precursor to me. Blue hair, green eyes. Huh, where did that come from? Oh my gosh.
Yo, what's up, Reek?
Yo, Reek's here. Let's go. My friend Reek.
Are you here to carry me through Final Fantasy 14? These guys look tough. 7 hells. Consider this awarding.
All right, let's bump a little bit forward. I haven't seen much of this Vaughn. 4 hours of me playing this.
Character.
Yeah, this is just how I used to sound, which is... It shocked me.
Oh,
I was
easy.
literally shocked.
All right.
When I went and heard this for the first time after... Yeah, this is me. This is me. This was me. Type 1 if you are surprised that this is me. Yeah, but I chose a short little Aura, blue hair, green eyes, big ponytail. Where did that come? All right. I think I've gotten the point across. How long ago? This was 5. Well, yeah, 5 years ago. This was 5 years ago. All right. There we go. That's it. Let's go ahead and go back. I think we've met the point of all of this. So this VOD was from August 23rd, 2019. This is right after speedrun sessions. And when I start working on my voice... I mean, probably subconsciously right around when I came out. Yeah. I mean, if you go look at my VODs around then, it's still quite a bit different. If you look at my older... Go watch my VTuber debut. You'll see. Anyway, so this is like... Dang it! Heck. Let me mute this card. People are talking about the planned crowd control. That's happening in an hour. So I got an hour to finish this. We'll finish it. So yeah, that was 2019, end of 2019. And you may be noticing, it's getting pretty close to 2020, right? So what's going to happen? Anyway, so I started streaming FF14. Again, very similar to Amnesia. I did this for my friends, my new friends who I had finally met. And I kind of kept on going to it. This I would say, is the first time I really started streaming regularly. As in, like, multiple days a week, most of the time. There were little spurts, like during Ori and Link to the Past stuff, where I would stream on and off. I still didn't have a schedule. I didn't have a schedule till 2021. Yeah, this was the start of me streaming somewhat regularly. Now, remember, I had, like, 7 viewers at this time, and I was heckin' stoked. I was like, oh god, 7 viewers. At this point, maybe I'd get 2 to 3. So I spent literal years at 2 to 3 viewers, which is a familiar spot a lot of people get stuck in. And, I had no intention ever of, like, streaming for anything but for my friends. It was kind of a bit selfish, in fact. I streamed kind of like just for myself and and my friends, and literally nobody else. I didn't care about anybody else. So anyway, I started continuing FF14. This would carry through the end of 2019. So streaming multiple days a week consistently. And at this point, I managed to get to 50 subscribers for the first time. Part of as a joke, because I remember this happening. Because it was at, I think it was AGDQ 2020 or SGDQ. No. Was it AGDQ 2020? It may have been AGDQ 2020. Either way, one of the GDQ events around this time, I asked Darkman, who used to be like the social media person, that, hey, let me get your Prime Scribe. I want to see if I can get to 50 subs to unlock my 6 affiliate emotes. Because I wanted to get my emotes unlocked. And he was like, okay, sure, I'll do it. And then through the combination of some gift subs from friends, I somehow managed to do it. And I think it was at AGDQ 2020. I told Scent that, yo, I got 50 subs. I can't believe it. And he was like, what? Phant has 50 subs? Like, I don't even have 50 viewers. What's going on? Because like everybody was so shocked that I managed to get 50 subscribers. My view count was still low. If I was lucky, I'd get to the low teens, but still quite low. Anyway, I'm still playing FF14, getting through Heaven's Word, I think, at this point, going through expansion by expansion. And then March 2020 comes around. Yay! The thing everybody knows. And basically, I started working from home, and I was immensely bored, being locked down into my house, like pretty much everybody who was stuck in their house. And so like, what else do I do? I'll just continue streaming. How about that? And during this time, occasionally I'd play something else, but it was mainly FF14, I would say. That covered the vast majority of stuff I was playing. Like the most hours for sure. I don't remember every single detail about literally everything that I streamed, but FF14 was like the game that I was streaming. And towards the end of the year, a little game called Fall Guys comes out. And remember, I talked about speedrun sessions for a reason, because I became friends with Xwater then. And Xwater was playing. Xwater was playing Fall Guys, and I was like, hey, I'd love to play with you. Let's play this game together. And this is after I played it for the first time, but I think me, Spike, and Nukes, because at this time, because of my role with the interview team, I got to be really good friends with everybody. Me, Spike, and Nukes played. I remember getting a crown on my first ever game in Hexagon. It's like, oh, this game's easy. All right, sure. But I was talking to Xwater, and actually, I'm trying to think about it now. It's like playing Fall Guys. I think Among Us was actually it. The one, because I messaged Xwater, I was like, hey, I want to join you and play Among Us. And, Fall Guys was also happening there. So he invites me to a server that he was playing with his friends. And the server had a lot of people in it. So it was like Xwater. It was Grand Pooh Bear. It was, a whole bunch of people in the Kaizo community and stuff like that. Shoujo ended up coming in there later. Fire Dragon was in there. A whole bunch of people. Barb was in there, and just, we'd play around and do some stuff, and group up and play Among Us, and it was fun. It was really fun. That's playing that game. I got to know a lot of people. This is at the same time Fall Guys is out, right? And they're doing Twitch Rivals events with Fall Guys. And I remember I filled in, I think, for Mitch or for Pooh or something. Because Pooh's team consisted of him, Velhart, Orator, and Mitch. That was the 4 players. And one time it's like, hey, I'm free. I can fill in. So I filled in for practice and played with them all. And I was pretty good. I think I was pretty good at the game. To be fair, Fall Guys is a very easy game, but I kind of got onto it really, really quickly. So over the course of these couple months, mid 2020 out, And whenever those games release, they're kind of like released pretty similar in the time frame. Pooh started doing the Fall Mania events, which are like a winner-take-all $5,000 tournament with 16 people. Usually a mixture of Pooh's friends and other people playing the game. And Red Bull sponsored it, sent out a whole bunch of stuff. And 2 of these events happened. And then I get a message out of the blue from Pooh. It's like, hey, would you like to compete in Fall Mania 3? Because we had done some stuff. We had played casually with a whole bunch of stuff. So like, I'm in this friend group, so he was like, yeah, sure, I'll play. And I don't think I realized the magnitude that that event was going to bring, but I did have a moment the day before the tournament. I was walking around because I'm still getting very nervous. I'm going to be on stage, like quote unquote on stage. So I was really scared about it. My heart rate goes up. I couldn't really rest well. I remember pacing in front of my fireplace and just thinking to myself, if I win this tournament, if I win the $5,000 on this could change my life. I don't know why I thought that. It ended up being true. But that seriously ran through my head the night before. And I was just like, kind of just sitting there, wondering the hypothetical, And then the tournament comes, and like I think the whole Fall Mania tournament is online somewhere that you can watch. I almost got eliminated in round 1 because it was based off of like kudos and crowns and points and all that. And I was about to be eliminated, and the only reason I didn't is because I tied. It was like a frame perfect tie for the crown. So me and one other person got the crown at the same time. That allowed me to advance, and eventually, after like 8 stressful hours, I won. I won the tournament. Got interviewed at the end. Got $5,000 deposited into my bank account. And then a whole bunch of people rated me and just subbed like crazy. I had over 1,000 subs and eventually peaked out at like 1,100 and something. It was like 1150-ish, 1140-ish, somewhere around there. It was a lot. It was so many subs, and that was a big boost to my income. And literally the day after, because like I got a whole bunch of raids from everybody, so like I had a couple thousand people hit the channel. And the day after, I went from like a low teens, single digits to low teens. I probably was somewhere around like 7 viewers, maybe 12, 13 viewers. I had under 1,000 followers, very, very few. And that, like overnight, I went from that low teens to like 120, 130 viewers, literally overnight. So I won that, and it was like a meteoric rise. I gained like 5,000 followers over the course of a month or two. And I was thinking, after the day, I was like, people are on the hype for the tournament, me winning the tournament. They're gonna leave and go watch somebody else. And then the next day came, and I still had over 100 viewers. And then the next day, and after about a week of maintaining that viewership, which I really don't know why people stuck around, I was like, holy shit, I can do this. This may be my time to go become Twitch partner. And I wasn't going to fully commit to it, but I figured I'll at least give it a shot. So I played a whole bunch of Fall Guys. The viewers maintained, and after about a month, I did a full month of averaging above 75. It was like 95, 100 average or something. And I went to the next month and I started applying for a partner. And because of a result of the pandemic, because it's at the end of 2020, the partner applications took like 6-7 weeks to process versus like getting rejected very, very quickly. So I maintained this grind, playing almost nothing except Fall Guys from September through January. January 13th is when I finally got a partner after the end of it. And the application I put in that eventually ended up getting me the check mark, I submitted right before Christmas. And I just sent a thing. I was like, hey, this is what I got. You've already seen it. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And I got it. And I'm not sure how many people know this. That was going to be the last attempt I put in. If I did not get partner on that application, I would have given up. And I probably to this day would have never been able to get it. So luckily, the literal last chance that I was going to give it, it came through. I got the check mark. I was elated. And then I was like, okay, I'd never want to play this game again. I had been playing Fall Guys for like 8 to 10 hours a day for 3 straight months. And keep in mind, I have a full-time job on the back of this, so it was ridiculously demanding. I was tired, I was exhausted, and I hated it. I still played occasionally, but I immediately pivoted to something else, and like anybody else who does this, there was a cratering of viewers. Like it just completely collapsed. I went from 3 straight months of 100 plus, and by March, I was sub 25 average viewers for the entire month. So 80-90% lost of my average viewerships. That came from Fall Guys falling off as not being as popular as it once was. Other people winning. It's like, okay, you know, they're the best in the world now, so I'm gonna go watch them. And then coupled with the fact that I didn't want to play it, so I started playing other things. So it was very clear that most of those people that watch me only watch me for one thing and literally nothing else. And this is what this looked like from a visual perspective. So I looked up my followers, so you can see just how much of a crash it was. So right here, you know, this is, you know, 2013 timeframe. Look at 10 followers. And then right here, this is when I started doing like Among Us and other things. And then this big, huge L right here, this is when I won the tournament. And then over the next couple months, it just skyrockets from under 1,000 followers to 5,500 followers. And I get partner about like right here. And then it just plateaus. For a while, like I spent like I think like 6-7 months, and I was still at the same follower level because I was bleeding so many because I was doing other stuff. And then down here, this is the viewership graph. So to the left, this is, you know, pre-win and all that. This one right here, this little short one, that's when I won the tournament. And then these 3 months were me riding the wave after that. And then this month right here, so I'd already started falling off. This is January. So I had crested the wave and started coming down. Then I got partner here, and then it just cratered. And then down here, I had about 25 average viewers from 122 at the peak. That's how big of a change it was. So needless to say, this was extremely depressing. Like, I would go cry. I would cry in the middle of the night that, oh, everything I had, it's gone. I thought that I had failed in some way. It was like completely on me. It was completely my fault. People hate me. People didn't ever actually like me. It was not a great spot. I will say I was literally depressed during this time frame, from about March 2021 throughout the rest of the year. I was like super depressed because it kind of like felt like what it was is I got to see a little bit of a potential future with streaming and being able to do stuff I enjoyed. And it's like it was like just ripped out from me. And then I remember just being so sad going back into my office and after they started opening up, and it just like was something I really didn't ever want to do again. So I tried to negotiate working from home, which I'm still doing. So that's kind of like helped a little bit. But this whole stretch right here from about February 2021 to October 2021 was really, really bad. So I was in a terrible spot. And keep in mind, this is also me dealing with the decision, like, oh, am I going to tell people I'm trans or not? This is all going on at the same time. So I don't want to overstep with a whole bunch of stuff that happened there. A lot of it's in parallel. Maybe it's also tough to remember exactly when the events happened, when they did. So this is all like, very, very general kind of stuff. But yeah, this kind of led to me roughly in March to investigate VTubing, actually, for multiple reasons, because it had drawn my attention to a couple of my friends before, and I kind of like acted like, it's like, whatever, it's stupid. I'm gonna do it as a joke. It was never a joke. And like I had an idea, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get two made, one of a male VTuber, one of a female VTuber, and people could use channel points to choose which one gets displayed. There's never a male VTuber. It's going to be female the entire time. Anyway, VTubing was going to be my last shot because I was so sad. I was so depressed. Whenever I did streaming, I was still trying to put in like a whole lot of hours streaming because I wanted to make something of it, have it come out as something that could earn me stuff. And like my whole mentality of this is like, I want money. I wanted more money from streaming. I wanted the popularity. I wanted the fame. I wanted everything. It was very, very selfish of me. And I was very sad that I didn't get that. So October 2021 comes around. I can't believe it's been 2.5 years since my VTuber debut. But I was very nervous about it, and I put on a date. I had a little debut, and I did like the little bit of lore and history and all of that with my 1.0 VTuber model. And I was still using he/him pronouns by then. This is still all part of the process of working towards that. But the month that I debuted, October 2021 through December 2021, since I hit partner, those 3 months were my worst performing months of stream. I remember it got down, I think, 1 month to 19 average viewers after debuting. That was around this time frame, towards the end of this plateau, right here ish. I should have put dates on this, but this is kind of like about where it was. And I was still very, very sad. And it was scary because I was kind of like hoping it would give me like a jolt in the arm to keep going, but I did really, really like it. I loved VTubing. This is also around the time I got a hotfix show, so I was able to like use that to kind of like advertise it. And I ended up liking it way more than I thought I would. It was so much fun. I had a blast. And I think people were able to notice on my stream that I was just happier when I could do the VTubing stuff. And I'm still very, very happy. It brings me so much joy. And this would end up slowly but surely turning around the stream. It wouldn't happen until May when I like publicly start coming out. That's this moment right here. So this is the moment where it's like, heck it, everything's public. Now I'm happy, and you could see it's been much healthier ever since. I kind of like stopped the sinking ship and righted it, and now we're back to growing again, which makes me very, 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 very happy. But I did like 6 months or so of VTubing before I considered. It's like, all right, time to go public, let people know what it is, and that's in May 2022 when I announced, "Hey, everybody, I'm a girl." Surprise, surprise! I know. Nobody saw this coming. Not a single soul saw this coming. um, and then I got a really big boost from that. Actually, that was kind of like another turning point in this stream. 'Cause, like, I was happier. Like, okay, yay! I can stop hiding myself and do all this other stuff. But one thing I didn't expect to come out of that. So I did it all for me. Everything was for me. What I didn't expect was I had a number of people send me messages, either on like Twitter, on Discord, messages on Twitch. I got an email. Somebody sent me an email to my business account saying how they watched that video. They've been watching me streaming. They said it really helped them, and I could either help them come to reality with who they were, or it brought them happiness to do all this stuff. And I started tearing up at them, like, oh my god! It's like just thinking about the messages I got, like, made me tear up, because I was like, up to this point, like, kind of like before all this happened, I was streaming for me and only me or my friends. That was literally it. I didn't care about anything else. And this was the first time that I felt like I was streaming for other people. 'Cause I was like, whoa, my silly stream can actually help people. Which, maybe I'm thinking too highly of myself here, but it kind of like changed my whole perspective on streaming as something I'm doing for profit, something I'm doing for myself or people I'm friends with, and not just essentially random people out there who come to look at it. And so many, like, dozens of people have messaged me. I still get messages every once in a while of people saying that I've helped them in some way or helped them from being depressed or something. And it kind of, it reconfigured my entire mentality around why I stream, that carries me to this day. Because, like, before is like, and you could look at this as, what is it that a streamer does? And you can have like cynical views where a streamer cultivates viewers to sell products to. So sponsorships, data, getting subs and all that stuff. So like that's kind of like the cynical way of saying it. And then in like my view, and this may sound a little corny, honestly, I see like my job as a streamer to bring happiness to people. That's kind of the look I've been given. Maybe it's too saccharine, too sappy or whatever, but that's kind of the perspective I've grown to at least treat my stream, which again, it's probably corny. It's like whatever, but it is legitimately how I feel about it. So going and seeing all the people that I've been able to help, people who have joined my Discord, who feel comfortable sharing aspects of their lives, people who come into the stream to, just be happy, be kind of like escape stuff, just enjoy a couple hours watching Phant do stupid stuff. People like, and I never expected people to like buy merch. So like people have been wearing my stuff out in public and are proud of it. And someone got a tattoo on their arm of one of my emotes. And like I was just shocked like how happy you all are watching my stream. So it's kind of like for starting mid 2022. It's like I stopped streaming only for myself. Since then, I think the stream's grown. I'm still trying to grow it, obviously, because I would like to make more money, obviously, but it's not the only reason I do things now. So I'm happy with the direction the stream's been going. I still have not hit those viewership highs. I may never get up to that point again. I say, like, my goal is still, I want to get to triple digit viewers consistently and all that, but I feel the stream's in a much healthier spot. I feel the people who do watch me really, really like me, and I am proud that my community is so cool, and I hope to do right by you all and continue to, stand by my values as a streamer of not bullshitting you all, so to speak. Just kind of, you know, not taking advantage of my viewers. That's why, like, I only opened up a throne recently because you all told me to. Like that's the only reason it's up there. The only reason I have a tip page at all is because you all wanted me to put it there. Like Patreon, like half the stuff that are like income sources for me for the streams, like are only there because people told me to go put it there. But yeah, that's I think basically all I have to say about all this. So thank you so much for continuing to support my stream. I still can't believe it's been 3 years since I hit partner. Something I never expected I would have, and I really, really hope that someday I can get back to those highs, maybe exceed it. December 2023, so last month was the most money I've ever made as a streamer in a single month. It beat out all those times that I had multiple people gifting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of subs and bits after I won that tournament. That is now only the second best month I've had. So that's like a really good direction, I guess, for me to go. And I really hope that I can continue to grow the stream. And slowly but surely, I think I will get there. And we'll see how things look a year for a partner. I'm very nervous. Every day I'm nervous that my viewership is going to collapse. Basically, that Fall Mania rise and the partner grind crash has, I think, permanently messed me up, setting my expectations for failure. That is like, oh, yeah, next month is the month that everybody's going to abandon me or something like that, But, streaming is so important to me, especially now. Like, I literally could not imagine a world where I do not stream. Like, I don't know what I would do. I would just, I'd be so bored. I would be kind of depressed if I couldn't do it. Like, it's really kind of like served as an outlet for me to just talk about things, kind of like be myself when I can't be myself elsewhere. And yeah, just thank you for supporting me. I greatly appreciate every single person watching this, whether it's now or in a year, whenever this comes up on your YouTube playlist. But yeah, I've been talking for like an hour and 7 minutes, so I think I should probably wrap up. Just all I want to say is thank you. So I hope to continue to bring fun streams and provide entertainment for y'all, and to make your lives better, and just hopefully put a little bit of joy out there, with a silly little anime girl on the internet. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.